Oh, there we go. Good morning. So you're gonna need your red or black band, whatever band is most challenging for you. We're gonna be using it for lateral walks today. And then you're gonna need a set of dumbbells. Then I'm gonna have you start with some windmills. So we're gonna bring those legs out nice and wide. We're gonna come to the inside of that foot, come all the way back up, and the inside of the other foot all the way back up. Perfect. Really getting those legs nice and straight, nice straight back. To get a nice stretch in the back of our legs. Really bringing those hips forward at the top. Perfect. A little bit of a butt squeeze at the top, so stretch out the front of those hips as well. Last 4, 3, 2, and then we're going to bring it into some hip openers. Just mobilize in the front of those hips. So bring the leg up and around, leading around through the knee. Should feel a little bit of popping in the front of that hip, almost like we're stepping up and over our hurdle. We're going to switch over to the other side, working a little bit on that balance as well. 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Then we're going to bring those legs out nice and wide. Now you come into your squat and then reach up overhead. Come into your squat, then reach up overhead. Today we're going to be doing strength and cardio supersets. So if anything starts to get too challenging, you can always slow it down and modify. We're going to be going through each superset 3 times, 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest, so you get enough time to recover before we start over again. We're going to do one more here. And then we're going to bring the legs out a little bit further apart. Then we're going to go into our side lunges, just coming over to the side, right back up, over to the other side, right back up. We're going to do a couple with this static position. And then if you feel comfortable enough in this static position, I want you to try stepping to the side on one leg and bring the other leg up to balance. If this is too much on your knee, stay in that static position we were just in. You don't have to step out to the side. It's going to help us work a little bit on that agility. Starting to work on that eccentric motion of the leg as we come down and balance. One more on this side. And then we're going to switch it over to the other leg, stepping out to the other side and bringing that knee up, leading that heel, knee up. 3, 4, 5. Awesome, let's try one more on this leg. You're gonna pick it up for butt kickers. Bring those heels back behind your booty. Doing your best to try to get them all the way up to the back. The tighter you hold in your core, the easier it'll be to control your movement. Awesome, keep breathing. And we got 3, 2, and then we're gonna come to some high knees, bringing those knees up high. If you need to modify, make it more of a standing march. Starting to get our heart rate up to get ready for those cardio sets. Still engaging the core to make sure we can bring those knees up nice and high without putting too much impact on the knees. We got 3, 2, and quad stretch. Bringing one leg back behind your butt, stretching out your quads, that muscle at the front of your leg. Doing your best to keep that balance, keeping the knees together. Perfect, then we're gonna switch it over to the other leg. Keeping the knees as close together as we can. Finding that balance. One side's always a little bit easier than the other. Then I'm going to have you come down into your kneeling hip flexor stretch. So we're going to bring one leg forward, one leg back. Really going to have to rest that back hip forward as you reach that arm up and over to the side. You really want to try to activate this stretch by reaching up. And then as you slightly lean, making sure that you're engaging the glute on the side that's down, so we're not overarching in the low back. You're really stretching out the front of this leg. And then one more deep breath in here. And then I'm going to be going to pigeon with that leg that's forward. So we're just going to bend that forward leg, straighten out that back leg as much as you can, and then come down over that front. Yep, that's pigeon. Okay, perfect. I'm just taking some deep breaths in here, really embracing that stretch along that outer thigh and glute area. And then we're gonna bring it back to the other side for the kneeling hip flexor stretch. You're gonna leave that knee that's down on the ground. Bring that other leg up. And then we're gonna thrust that back hip forward as we reach up and lean it over to the side. Slightly engaging that glute on the side that's down and really reaching up and over. The more that you can reach up and thrust that hip forward, more of a stretch you should feel along the front of that hip and thigh. Then we're going to collapse forward on that front knee, bending that forward leg, coming down into pigeon, straightening out that back leg as much as you can. You can bring your elbows down to the floor in pigeon. You're going to feel the most stretch along that glute and outer thigh. One more deep breath in here. And rest. Awesome. Grab water if you need it. We're going to start with our core moves. We're going to set up for 30 seconds of each exercise. I'm going to have you start first on your back with leg lifts. And then our second exercise, we're going to go into heel crunches. So get into a comfy position on your back. We're going to bring our hands underneath our low back. We're going to point those legs up, setting up our leg lifts in 3, 2, and go. So we're going to inhale, bring the legs down, exhale, leg lifts. There we go. Awesome. Keep breathing. Drawing that belly button in nice and tight. Inhaling as we lower. Exhaling as we bring the legs up. Awesome. Keep breathing. Only lower those legs as much as you can with control. If you start to get some hip popping, just bend your legs until your heels touch the ground, and then exhale, raise up through the knees. It'll feel like a little less work, but you'll still be working in that core. And rest. We're going to bend the heels, keeping them right underneath your knees. For heel crunches, we're lifting the shoulders, going towards each foot. We're going to set up for 30 seconds here, keeping that chest lifted, keeping that chin tucked under, almost like we're giving ourselves a double or triple chin as we reach towards each heel to help protect that neck. And if you start to feel this too much in your neck, you can always support your head with your hands and just lead through the elbows. But this move, you should really start to feel through your obliques, your side abs, as you really focus on reaching for those heels. Almost imagine like you're reaching past your heels. We got 3, 2, and rest. We're going to lower the head, make sure you have a nice neutral spine. We're going to get those feet set up in your comfortable bridge position. We're going to set up for 30 seconds of bridges. In 3, 2, and go. So we're going to lift the hips up all the way, butt squeeze. Inhale just to lower and hover. Exhale on that butt squeeze. Inhale as we lower and hover. Squeezing those glutes together as tight as you can up to the top. Getting a nice stretch along the front of those hip flexors. This is kind of like a squat laying down, but think of it as a push-up for your lower body. It's really important to start to warm up those butt cheeks because we're going to have some jumping today. Want to make sure the legs are ready. Butt squeeze up to the top. Butt squeeze. Last 4, 3, 2, Now we're gonna keep those hips up as high as you can. We're gonna bring one leg up to march, bring it right back down. Other leg up to march, right back down. Landing that heel down nice and softly every time. Almost like we're stepping on a eggshell. Try not to crack it. And we still want to engage those glutes, keeping those hips up as high as we can. Holding that belly button in super tight. Engaging the arms by pressing them down firmly at your sides. We got 3, 2, and rest. Lower those hips. Last one, we're gonna roll it over into our side planks. So the first side plank, set up on whichever side you feel more comfortable. We're gonna stay on your elbow. Extend those legs all the way out. And then we're gonna hold. If you need to just hold, you can hold. If you're ready for the reach under, you're gonna have to reach underneath your body and then reach all the way back up. So we're gonna do 30 seconds on this side and reach. Exhale as we come up to the sky. Inhale as we come under. Exhale as we come up. Almost imagine like you're reaching underneath your body and pulling something out from under you. Bringing it up towards the sky. Really focusing on squeezing that butt to keep those hips forward. Bringing the belly button in nice and tight. Again, working a little bit more in those obliques. We got 3, 2, and switch. We're gonna roll over to that other side. Side planks are always fun first thing in the morning. Setting up on the elbow, reaching the arm up. We're gonna reach underneath the body. Exhale as we reach up. Inhale as we reach under. Exhale as we reach up. If you ever need to modify, or if you need some help, you can always bring your top leg forward, bent for support, keeping the weight in your heel, just to make sure you can keep that hip up. Or you can always bend your bottom leg, keeping that leg bent, and just pushing up through the knee. And that will help a little bit with balance and making sure you can stay on that side. And rest. Perfect. We're gonna roll back over on your back. Setting up for one more set of those leg lifts. Only 30 seconds. Bring the hands underneath the low back. In 3, 2, and go. Then bring those legs up. Inhale to lower. Exhale as we lift. Pulling that belly button in nice and tight. Tiny butt contraction at the bottom of your leg lift. Use that momentum to help bring your legs back up to the top. Now we'll take a little bit of that pull out of your hips as well. Awesome, keep breathing. Last 3, 2, and rest. Bend those legs. Last set of heel crunches, bringing those shoulders up. We're gonna reach for those heels. Exhaling as we reach towards each heel. This is also a helpful move for when you're standing and you go to pick something up from the side, making sure that our side abs are strong enough and that we're not straining in the shoulders. Keeping that low back pressing into the ground, keeping that chin tucked under. Last 3, 2, and rest. We're gonna stay on your back for last set of bridges. Bringing those feet so they're right underneath those knees. Ready, and lift those hips, big butt squeeze. Inhale as we lower. Exhale as we clench the cheeks together. This round should feel a little bit easier to control your movement now that we're nice and warm. Still pressing through those heels. Bringing the hips up as high as you can. Stretching out our hip flexors and our abs after all those leg lifts. Perfect, let's try to get a few more here. Last 3, 2. We're gonna stay up in that bridge hold. Last time in our marching, just bringing one foot up at a time. Landing nice and soft in that heel as we alternate. Doing our best to keep those hips up nice and high. Squeezing those butt cheeks and engaging your arms at the sides, starting to feel those triceps warm up as we press the arms firmly down to the ground. Awesome, keep breathing. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, And rest. Lower those hips. Hug your knees into your chest. And then just gently rock it side to side for a second to stretch out your low back. And then we have one more set of side planks on each side. If you have been really good on your side planks from your elbow, and you'd like to challenge yourself, try it from your hand today. If that's too much for you to grasp and try right now, you can stay on your elbow. We're still going to reach underneath and come all the way back up. Ready? 30 seconds. And go. Reaching under. And then reaching all the way up. Awesome. We're staying on that elbow. We want to make sure the elbow is still right underneath the shoulder. Same with the hand if you have that straight leg, straight arm. Keeping the glutes engaged. Hips coming forward. Last 3, 2, and rest. Awesome, that's so good. Let's set up on the other side. It's always harder the longer the lever we make. Setting up with those legs nice and straight, reaching up, and then reaching under. Holding that belly button in nice and tight. Keep breathing. Inhale and exhale. And we're pulling something out from under us. Again, making sure that elbow or hand is right underneath that shoulder. Last 3, 2, and rest. Awesome. Okay, grab water if you need it. For our first exercise, you're gonna need that band. And I'm gonna have you put it right above your knees around both legs. We're gonna set up for our first superset. We're gonna have 40 seconds of our lateral band walk. So the lateral band walk, again, putting that band right above your knees. We're walking laterally, that means side to side. So you're gonna keep the feet out nice and wide. You wanna make sure there's a lot of tension between that band the whole time. So I'm gonna stick the butt back. I'm just showing you the first 2. We're gonna step it over 12 steps to the right, 12 steps to the left, 12 and 12. We should be able to make it twice in that 40 seconds. And then our second one, you can either slip that band off if you want to. If you wanna leave it on, you can leave it on. We're gonna set up for squat jumps. Usually the band helps a little bit with the squat jumps and making sure we're engaging the glutes and not putting too much pressure in the knees. If jumping starts to be too much, we're just gonna set up for speed squats instead and just skip that hop. So make sure you're far enough to the side. We're gonna set up for those little side walks in 3, 2, and go. So we're setting up in that mini squat, really leading through the heel as we go to the outside, pushing the hips back behind us. 7, 8, we're going all the way to 12, 10, 11, 12, yeah, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, perfect, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, last 12. If you have limited space, you can always make your count a little bit less. So you can always bring it down to 8 if you need to. And rest. Ooh, shaking out those legs. Should be starting to feel the outside of your hips warming up. You can leave that band on or take it off, your choice. Setting up for our second exercise, squat jumps, 40 seconds. In 3, 2, and go. So we're gonna sit back in that squat. Little hop at the top if you can. If the jumping is too much, you can always stay in more of a speed squat and just really focus on thrusting those hips forward at the top. Making sure that we can keep the knees tracking right over those ankles. So anytime we're jumping, we want to avoid our knees coming inwards like this. That's where the band is helpful in making sure that we're still engaging the glutes in that little jump. Awesome, keep breathing. Last 5, 3, 2, and rest. Woo, shake your legs out. Now we're gonna set back up in that lateral walk. If you know you ended on one side and you only got 3 laps, start on the side you ended on. That way you'll continue going to the second side. Setting this one up in 3, 2, and go. So we're really leading to the outside of that leg. Starting to feel the outside of the hip burning. Legs are slightly bent, doesn't need to be a full squat. We want to make sure that the core is engaged and pulling in, and that we're still pushing the hips back behind us, keeping our back nice and flat. It's helpful if you have a mirror by you, so you can make sure that your back is in this position and not in this position. So this will always help make sure that you're using your glutes more than your lower spine. We got 3, 2, and rest. Woo, shake those legs out. We're gonna set back up for our second set of those squat jumps or speed squats in 3, 2, and go. So nice, easy little squat, hopping up at the top, just like we're in a bouncy chair. Perfect. We're using those glutes to help propel you up to the top. Still keeping the knees pressing out against that band. Awesome, keep breathing. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Last 5, 2, and rest. Woo. Then shake those legs out. We only have one more round of our side to side walk. Making sure those feet are out nice and wide. Bringing those legs far apart in 3, 2, and go. Last 12, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Last 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You got this. Let's see if you can make it all the way back. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. Woo! Then shake those legs out. We only have one more round of our jump squats or speed squats. In 3, 2, and go. Sitting back in that chair. Nice little explosion at the top. Really exhale as you try to bring yourself all the way up to the sky. Landing back in that squat. Nice soft knees. Awesome, keep breathing. We're already halfway. Woo, last 10. Keep breathing. 3, 2, and rest. Yay. We're gonna bring that band off. Grab water if you need it. Next one, we're gonna set up on the floor for both of them. Our first one, we're gonna be in a bridge chest press. So in your chest press, if you have heavier weights, you'll wanna be using those. We're gonna bring those elbows out at a 60-degree angle. So you wanna keep the elbows kind of down toward your sides, but still out wide. Hands are gonna be out over your elbows. Legs are gonna be bent in that bridge position. We're gonna butt squeeze up to the top as we press the weights up. Inhale as we lower. Exhale as we press up. Inhale as we lower. Second set, we're gonna roll around for mountain climbers. We're gonna have 40 seconds of work and 20 seconds of rest. Setting up first for that bridge chest press. In 3, 2, and go. Big exhale on that press. Inhale as we lower. Exhale as we butt squeeze. Inhale as we bring those elbows down, squeezing the glutes and the chest all at the same time. This is a good recovery exercise after all of the squat jumps, making sure we're starting to warm up those wrists and our shoulders to be able to hold ourselves up in a plank. If the bridge ever starts to be too much or you feel like you can't control your movement and breathe, you can always leave the hips down in that stable position and then just do the chest press. The bridge just adds an extra challenge for your core. Last 3, 2, and rest. We're gonna set those weights down. Shake out the hands, the shoulders, those wrists. Our second exercise, we're gonna roll over into our plank because we're gonna be in mountain climbers. So if you ever need to take a break during these, you can always hold your plank. We're gonna set this one up in 3, 2, and go. Mountain climbers. Perfect. Mountain climbers are always just holding that plank position, pulling your knees in towards your chest. The faster you can go, more of a cardio move you're gonna feel in this. So if you can, try to run down 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, holding that belly button in nice and tight as you bring the legs in. Perfect, keep breathing. Last 5, 3, 2, and rest. Awesome. I'm gonna shake it out. We're gonna set it for another set of that bridge chest press. Rolling back over onto your back. Kind of like a squat to press from the floor. Making sure to bring those elbows out to the sides, dumbbells right over those elbows, feet under those knees, and go. Big exhale as we press up. Inhale to lower. Exhale to press up. Inhale to lower. Getting those hips up as high as we can. As you bring the dumbbells up and together. Holding that belly button in nice and tight. Especially as you lift the hips. You want to have really good control bringing the dumbbells down. You feel both elbows touch the floor at the same rate. Perfect. See if you can get 3 more in here. 2. And rest. Woo. And then deep breath. We're rolling it back over for those mountain climbers. Again, if the climbers start to be too much, just hold your plank. We're gonna set this one up in 3, 2, and go. Just run it in 1 leg at a time. Inhale and exhale. Keep breathing. If bringing the knees in starts to be too much, hold still in that plank and get back into it when you're ready. Awesome, we're already halfway there. Last few seconds. You've got this. And we got 3, 2, and rest. Woo. And deep breaths. Take those arms out. We have 1 more set of those bridge chest presses. Setting up with those hands out. Right over those elbows. Elbows out nice and wide. Feet underneath those knees. And 3, 2, and go. Last 40 seconds here. Exhale as you press. Inhale as we lower. Bringing the hips and elbows down at the same time. Really squeezing at the glutes. Squeezing that chest together. Inhale and exhale. Awesome. You got this. Last few seconds here. And we got 3, 2, and rest. Woo. Drop those weights. We only have 1 more round of mountain climbers. Deep breaths. Setting up on those hands and toes in that plank. 3, 2, and go. Last 40 seconds here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. So squeezing that belly button in nice and tight. Nice and light in the toes. Knee to chest, knee to chest. Awesome, you got this. We're so close, last 10 seconds. Now we got 3, 2, and rest. Woo. Grab water. Our next move, we're gonna be to standing. We're gonna set up first for curtsy lunges. I'm gonna show you the modification right now. So if you know you need a modification for curtsy lunges, try to pay attention while you're drinking water. So I'm only gonna show you once. So if you were ready to hold weights at your side, hold weights at our side. For the curtsy lunges, I'm gonna tell you to switch halfway. So we're gonna stay in that lunge, right back up. Foot comes back at a 45, like we're going into a curtsy. And then halfway through, I'll tell you when to switch to the other side. If you need to modify, I'm gonna have you do our 2-way squats. So you're gonna keep the knees together, step out to the side, knees together, that same leg's gonna step out to the side. So you're just gonna stay on that same side over and over. And then when I say switch, you're gonna switch over to the other leg. So this is only if you need a modification for their curtsy lunges because it starts to hurt your knees. More for grace. Our second one is gonna be the 2-way jacks. So we're gonna go up to the side, up to the front, up to the side, up to the front, doing our best to keep that coordination. Again, if you need to slow it down, just tap that foot out. So we're gonna set up first for our curtsy lunges. We're gonna start this on the left leg, bringing the weights to the sides if you can. Setting this one up in 3, 2, and right leg comes back. Curtsy, and right back up. And then same leg, curtsy, keeping the weight in that left heel. Eventually, you should start to feel this in the left outer thigh and that left inner thigh. Doing our best to keep that chest up. Working a lot on balance. Last 3, 2, and then we switch. Going to the other side, bringing that leg back, weight in that right heel. Left leg back, weight in that right heel. Focusing on right butt cheek squeezing, pulling this through the inner thigh. Keep breathing. Last 3, 2, and rest. Awesome, check those legs out. Now we're set up for those 2-way jacks. Bring the arms once out to the side and once to the front in 3, 2, and go. So you go side, front, side, warming up those shoulders. Really focusing on getting that full range of motion as we bring those arms up and around. This is cardio, but also doubles as good work for your rotator cuff. Awesome, keep breathing. Still squeezing in at the core. We're so close. Last few seconds here. We got 3, 2, and rest. Woo. Grab water and we'll step back up for those curtsy lunges. Weights if you can. Setting up in 3, 2, and left leg. Bringing that right leg back. Left heel. Keeping that left glute engaged as we come up to standing. It's a little bit of a balancing exercise too. Anytime you make that lunge narrow, it's gonna be harder to balance. Try one more on this side, and then we switch. Bring the left leg back, weight in that right heel. Left leg back, weight in that right heel. Awesome job, keeping nice flat back. Bring chest forward. Recruiting for the crowd. Last 3, 2, and rest. Awesome. And you want to set back up for a second set of those two-way jacks. Setting this one up in 3, 2, and go. To the side, to the front, side, front, side, front. Keeping that coordination with that jack. Awesome, keep breathing. Holding it nice and tight at the core. You've got this, we're already halfway through. Still getting that nice range of motion with the shoulders. Looking up towards the ceiling a little bit. If you start to feel tension in the back of your neck. Last 3, 2, and rest. Woo. We have one more set of those curtsy lunges. Last set of those two-way jacks. Setting this one up, left leg again, in 3, 2, and go. Last 20 seconds on this side. Right leg coming back. Just a little crisscross behind that leg. Really working the outer thigh and that inner thigh. Keep breathing. Last 3, 2, and switch. Bringing the weight in that heel. Awesome. Working a lot on that balance. Using that right glute and butt cheek to help come up to standing. 3, 2, and rest. Perfect. We have one last set of those two-way jacks. We have 10 seconds before we start. Remember, there's 20 seconds of rest between each round. Standing up in 3, 2, and go. To the side, to the front, side, front. Keep breathing. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth. Holding that belly button in tight. Awesome, you got this. Squeezing that core in as tight as you can. We're so close, less than 10 seconds left. Three, 2, and rest. Perfect. Grab water. We have one more superset, and then we're gonna cool it down. So we're setting up first for our back rotated tricep extension. For this one, you wanna make sure that your back stays super deeper flat. So you're gonna bring the butts of the dumbbells to the front of your thighs. The dumbbells are gonna stay against your legs almost the entire time. So as you send your hips back, you're gonna keep your back nice and flat. We're gonna pull straight back, extend back, bring it back right in front of the legs. So I want you to avoid bringing them way out here. We don't want the weights this far away from your knees ever, because that's where we're gonna feel a lot of that strain in your mid-back. So when you're at the bottom of your row, the dumbbells should be touching your knees. Don't let them come all the way out here. That's where you're gonna start to feel tension. Our second exercise, we're gonna set up in break dancers. For this one, you're gonna set up in that high plank. We're gonna step one leg over, reach the other hand up to that foot, one leg over, other foot up to that hand, just switching for balance. If you feel super comfortable in this move, you can pick up the pace and go a little bit quicker. Just make sure that you feel stable enough so you're not toppling backwards. So we're gonna set up first for that row to tricep extension. Make sure you feel comfortable in your bent over position first. So we're gonna bring the feet hip width apart, bring the dumbbells to the front of those thighs, stick your butt back as much as you can, belly button drawing in, nice flat back. In 3, 2, and go. So you pull the back of those hips, extend straight back towards the sky, bring it back to hips, right along the front of those thighs. Front of the thighs, straight back to hips, front of your thighs. So you want to keep it super close. That's going to help you keep your center of gravity right in the middle to make sure that we're not starting to strain in the upper back. That's usually one of the reasons we start to hunch forward, is that we're not keeping the weights in close enough. Perfect. Really think mid to lower back as you row back. If you're a lady, right where that bra strap would buckle. Anytime you do a back row, your visual is that you're unbuckling your bra. 3, 2, and rest. Perfect, that looks so good. We're gonna set up in that high plank for our break dancers. As we step over, we're gonna land in that heel that's up on the air. In 3, 2, and go. So we're gonna step up and over, raise that other leg to tap that hand, up and over, leg up to tap that hand. Perfect. If the hand tap is too much, just focus on reaching up for the sky. You can always leave that other foot on the ground if you need to. This works a lot through your entire core. It's gonna get your heart rate up a little bit too. So it's a full body move. Perfect, last 5. 3, 2, and rest. Woo! It also burns out your lats before we go back to back rows. So we're gonna grab those weights again. Setting up with the back of the dumbbells at the front of your thighs. In 3, 2, and go. So we have 1 row, extend straight backwards, unrow. Perfect. Keep breathing. Keeping those weights in nice and close to the body. Really pressing back through the elbows. Trying to keep those elbows in nice and close the entire time to make sure that we're opening up through the front of the chest and the front of the shoulders. Awesome, last 5. 2, and rest. Woo! Perfect. We're gonna set up another round of those break dancers. Setting up in that high plank. In 3, 2, and go. So we're stepping up and over, landing that heel. Kick that opposite foot up, right back down. Opposite heel. Perfect, keep breathing. Exhale. When you kick, inhale as you're turning. Exhale as you kick. It's gonna help you start to engage your abs as you bring that leg up to the hand. Perfect, you got this, you're so close. Last 10 seconds. Try to get a couple more each way. Last 3, 2, and rest. Woo! And deep breath. We have 1 more set of the row to kick back. Bring in those dumbbells right in front of our thighs. Setting this one up in 3, 2, and go. We have 1 row, 1 extension, unextend, unrow, weights in close, elbows in close. Really pressing back through those triceps as we go into the extension. Keep breathing, pushing back through the hips, like you're trying to push your butt back really far behind you. Still holding that belly button in nice and tight. Last 10 seconds. You got this. We got 3, 2, and rest. Yay! And that one's really helpful for getting the back of your shoulders, helping a lot with posture. Our last set of those break dancers. Setting up in that plank in 3, 2, and go. Just stepping up and over. Touch that foot. Up and over. Touch that foot. Keep breathing. Weight in that heel. Engaging those hamstrings on that standing leg. Perfect, keep breathing. Exhaling as we pick up. Inhaling as we turn. Last few seconds here. We got 3, 2, and rest. Awesome, grab water if you need it, if you can stretch right where you are. Set up in that child's pose, reaching your hands forward, pushing your hips back over your heels. You guys want to stretch out that low back when it's nice and warm. Pressing the hands firmly into the floor as you push your hips back over your heels. So one more big deep inhale here. On your next exhale, walk your hands over to the left-hand side. Really reaching over and across in that right shoulder. Getting a big stretch in your right leg and side body. Then bring it back to the middle. Big inhale here. And then on your next exhale, walk it over to the right-hand side. Getting a nice stretch in that left shoulder and left side body. Really pressing that left arm firmly into the floor. And then walk yourself back to the middle. Now we're gonna slowly roll up. Gonna have you come up onto your knees. Gonna have you try to grasp your hands back behind your back. See if you can clasp your hands together and pull your shoulder blades back as you extend that chest forward. If you do not have this range of motion, what I would recommend is using a rope tie or a towel, and you can always hold that from the sides, and that will allow you to open up in the chest as well if you can't reach hands yet. But that's an indicator that the front of your shoulders are really, really tight, and that you need to focus on stretching and bringing them back, as well as foam rolling in this nook. One more deep breath in here, stretching out the front of that chest. And exhale, we're gonna roll over onto our butt, our bottom. Make sure you still have your band handy, so you should be able to reach it wherever you are. So then we're gonna sit first in butterfly, keeping the weight back in those hips, bringing those heels together. I'm gonna bring that chest forward over your feet, doing our best to get a nice stretch, not only in the groin, but maybe a little bit in your low back as well. Again, our breathing should be slowing down by now. So we want to make sure we can take big, deep, full breaths in through the nose, then exhale fully through the mouth. This cold weather causes a lot of congestion and tightness in the respiratory system. So you want to make sure we can start to get our breathing right when we're nice and warm and all of that mucus is loose. And then I'm going to have you send your right leg out to the side. We're going to reach your right hand for your right foot, and then I'm going to have you bring your left arm across your body over to that right foot. If you can't reach, do your best. Imagine like you're reaching for your toe, and you should feel a little bit of a stretch in the back of that shoulder. And then one more deep, deep breath in here. And then we're going to bring that right leg back to the center to meet that left foot. We're going to bring that left foot out to the side, keeping that toe pointed up. Left hand reaching for your left leg, and then right arm over and across. When we reach across, you should feel this in the back of the shoulders, as well as a little bit in that side body But we focus less on the lats when we reach over and across rather than overhead, since we just did the kneeling side. Then one more deep breath in here. Perfect. So we're going to go over onto our back. We're going to stretch out the hamstrings and those ankles. So I'm going to have you start first with your left leg up in the air. We're going to bring that band around the ball of your foot. So right above that arch. You want to make sure it's a little below toe so it doesn't snap off and hit you in the face when your foot is flexed. We're going to bring that toe in toward your face as much as you can, getting a nice flex in that ankle. Do your best to straighten out that leg as you pull your hands in toward your chest, keeping your elbows at your sides. So if you're starting to get chicken wings, bring those elbows down. You should feel a nice stretch all the way along the calves and those hamstrings. Really pushing that heel up towards the ceiling. Then I'm going to have you try pointing your toe up towards the sky, still maintaining that pull. And then we're going to get some nice big circles in that ankle. As you circle that ankle around, continue to pull on that band. It's going to start to feel like it's stretching out that outer calf, possibly all the way down to your foot. And then we're going to switch the direction of your circles, going around the other direction. Really try to make these big fluid circles, getting full range of motion. Perfect. Then I'm going to have you bring that leg out to the outside. So you're just going to let it fall out as far as you can. You should feel a little bit of a stretch along that inner thigh. If you can, try pointing your toe and you'll feel an even bigger stretch right along by the knee and that inner leg. Then we're going to take one big deep breath in here. On your exhale, tighten your belly button in a little bit as you pull that leg back to the center. And then we're going to bend the leg over that right knee. You can bring the band off your toe. We're going to lift the left leg, lift the right leg, bring the right knee in toward your chest, and then bring the hands around the back of that right thigh as you pull the left leg in towards your body. This is like a modified pigeon, that stretch from the beginning. And this will also help you stretch out the IT band, the outer thigh, and that glute on the leg that was just up in the air. I'm going to take one more big deep breath in here. And then exhale, dropping that right leg down, uncross that left leg. And then we're going to go over onto the right side, bringing the band around the ball of that right foot. Bringing that right leg as straight as we can, pointing the heel up towards the sky, toe towards your face. Pull that band in towards your chest as you keep your elbows at your sides. We really want to try to keep that leg as straight as we can, keeping nice, consistent tension. And you should feel this stretch all the way along the back of your leg, and that calf, and in your hamstring. We're going to point that toe up towards the sky, still pulling on that band. You should feel a little bit of a stretch in that outer calf. Then we're going to get big circles in that right ankle. Starting to get nice range of motion as you bring that leg up and around. Awesome. Then switch the direction of your circles. Really drawing nice big ones. Getting more mobility in that ankle. These will get locked up after we do a lot of high impact motion, like the squat jumps and the jacks. Then we're going to pull that toe back in toward your face and then let that leg come out to the side. If you feel too much of a stretch, keep that foot flexed. If you're able to, try pointing your toe, and you should feel a little more of a stretch along that inner thigh right by the knee. And one more deep breath in here. And exhale, bring it back to the middle. We're gonna cross that right leg over the left knee. And then we're gonna lift that left leg, bring your left knee in towards your chest. You wanna try to keep your back flat along the ground as we do this. If you can, try to tuck your chin under, making sure your head stays on the ground. So that will take a lot of that tension out of the chest and upper shoulders. Really just want to focus on stretching the legs here. One side might be a little tighter than the other. Want to try to make it as even as we can. You should start to feel a nice stretch along that outer thigh, IT band, and glute butt cheek area of the right leg. And then release that left leg, or across that right leg, and then slowly roll over to come to standing. Making sure we do this nice and slow so you don't get dizzy or lightheaded. Perfect. We're going to take 3 big deep breaths in. First one, big inhale as we reach up for the sky. And then we're going to bring that head down towards the ground, forward fold. Exhale as we slowly roll up one vertebra at a time, stamping each one on top of one another. Another big inhale. Then we're going to fold it forward. And then rolling up as we exhale, lower back, mid back, making the shoulders and head the last thing to come up. One more big deep breath in, fill your lungs with air as you fold forward. And then exhale on this last really slow roll up. Perfect. You guys did so good.